What is up, everyone? We are Draft Dashboard, and these are our NFL DFS picks for this slate, focused on why the data points us here and where we can gain leverage. Starting at quarterback, we are building around Drake May at 6,800 against the Jets, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 28, and that matchup drives our ceiling and floor. We love the combination of a dash rank at 121 fantasy points per game on the season, and a steady scoring trend at 19, 22, and 29 over his last three. He is projected for 17 points, yet likely to be nearly unowned, which gives us massive leverage for tournaments. We also like the external signal on form and popularity that correlates with DFS ownership waves and award narratives, with fan voting placing him just behind Travis Kelce and Josh Allen per the Pro Bowl Games report, and national pieces highlighting an 11-3 New England run and possible MVP season. In short, elite recent production plus a soft overall defense and likely low ownership make May our preferred spend at quarterback. For a salary saver at quarterback, we can go to Geno Smith at 4,400 against the Giants, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 29. The play is simple game theory plus price based on a projection around 16. He has recent outcomes of 15-9 in two of his last three and should come in nearly unowned. If you are multi-entering, the salary relief lets you jam premium stacks elsewhere, and the narrative support is there too. With public accountability quotes and Pete Carroll publicly backing Geno per recent coverage, which often precedes aggressive play calling and bounce-back spots. At running back, Chase Brown at 7,400 versus the Cardinals, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 25, profiles as our primary spend. The dash rank is 100, projection is 15, and the recent burst matters. With 33, 16, and 19 in his last three, we want ascending usage and explosive week-winning upside in soft matchups, and Brown checks those boxes. The drumbeat in the media is real as well, with notes about him chasing 100-yard milestones, and even with a low ranking from Morris Jones-Drew. That skepticism tends to keep ownership suppressed, which we want when the data and form are bullish. Our value running back is Sean Tucker at 4,200 versus Miami, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 21. We are targeting price-adjusted opportunity and volatility, and Tucker fits as a low-cost way to capture a meaningful role with paths to receptions and goal line work. He is projected around 3, which will scare most players off, but the profile is spike week friendly, as highlighted in recent fantasy features that called out surprise 30-plus point weeks. In large field tournaments, this is the kind of thin but live salary saver that unlocks premium stacks. At wide receiver, Chris Olave at 7,200 versus the Titans, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 26, is a priority. We are paying for alpha volume and ceiling after a 40-point eruption last game, preceded by 21-6. The projection sits at 11, which looks light given the matchup and likely target consolidation. The Rashid Shaheed trade to Seattle, reported by Ian Rappaport, points to even more, funneling to Olave, and his message about his future in New Orleans supports the idea the team continues to feature him. For a salary relief wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy at 4,000 versus the Steelers, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 24, is a leverage play. Recent box scores at 4, and 4 will mute interest, but the 19-point outing 3 games ago shows the path. With Shedeur Sanders drawing positive reviews in his first starts per multiple reports, we expect improving QB play to stabilize Judy's target quality. We want the combination of price, matchup, and recency bias to create a low-owned pivot off chalkier mid-range receivers. At tight end, Trey McBride at 7,500 versus the Bengals, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 31, is our premium core play. He owns a dash rank of 100 and a projection of 14 with 19 fantasy points per game on the season. The Bengals' overall defense ranking creates the right environment, and even with a 7 last game, the 42 games ago reminds us of the ceiling news flow supports this too. With pieces noting he leads tight ends in receptions and is pushing all-pro consideration, plus a shot at the record books this season. Exactly the type of usage you pay for at tight end. For a punt at tight end, Elijah Higgins at 2,500 in the same game versus the Bengals, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent. Rank of 31 gives us a bringback correlated with McBride, or a cheap one off. He has shown life with 16-1 game ago, and at this price, we only need a few targets or a red zone look to pay it off. If you prefer a mid-range tight end for the flex spot, Mike Gesicki at 3,500 against Arizona, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 25, has recent scores of 13 and 21 in his last 3 and benefits from Bengals' pass rate in scoring areas, with off-season reports suggesting Cincinnati intends to keep him involved. For the flex, Ashton Jeanty at 6,100 against the Giants, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 29, is one of our favorite leverage plays on the slate. The projection is 16, with a recent spike to 35 and a dash rank of 100. We expect the Raiders to lean into run and play action concepts based on Jeanty's own comments after the coordinator change, and the Sportsline model has already singled him out among top anytime touchdown picks, aligning with our red zone thesis. Defense and special teams, we like the Patriots at 3,900 against the Jets, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 29 on the board. We are pairing our May stacks with Pat's D for positive correlation in blowout or game control scripts, and the recent scores of 9 and 5 in 2 of the last 3 show solid floor with turnover upside for a salary saver. The Cardinals at 2,300 versus Cincinnati, who have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 27, give us a path to 6 projected points at near minimum. And if this game slows down at all, they can get there on sacks and a turnover. Quick recap of why we are here. Quarterback, Drake May for ceiling in a soft overall matchup with elite recent form and positive media momentum. Geno Smith as a low-cost leverage option in a soft overall matchup running back. Chase Brown for ascending usage and explosion in one of the worst overall matchups. Sean Tucker as a volatile punt who can unlock lineups wide receiver. Chris Olave as an alpha volume bet with potential target boost after the Rashid Shaheed trade. Jerry Jeudy as a price-based leverage pivot with improving quarterback play. Tight end. Trey McBride as an elite usage premium. Elijah Higgins as a punt with immediate correlation. And Mike Gesicki as a flex alternative defense. Patriots for correlation and pressure. Cardinals as the cap relief defense. We are prioritizing players with high dash rank, soft overall opponent ranks, and recent production signals while leveraging under the radar ownership based on public narratives, and price drop your favorite low-owned play in the comments, and let's go win some tournaments.